Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, good morning. Let's talk about the market, of course. And let's talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin's massive consolidation and why it's ending and why, more importantly, that's a good thing. All right, let's talk about all these things and more today. Let's do it. Welcome, guys. We're starting out the day not bad. 60,800, 60,900. We are definitely trending upwards, and the US market is also trending upwards. So that is good. But overall, I don't expect a lot of movement today because everyone's waiting for what's going to happen tomorrow, right? People want to know what Powell is going to say. 25 basis points or 50 basis point. Right now, still, the percentages are towards, or the higher percentages towards the 25 basis point. But there is a good chance we get 50 basis points, right? Especially when we're getting numbers revised, and they're revised in a bad way. Right? Like non-farm payroll numbers. I covered this last night, but I don't know how you could be off by 808,000 jobs. So somehow, sometimes you see revisions like, okay, maybe they revised last quarter or last week or something like that, but they revised for an entire year and they realized that they were down or off by 818,000 jobs. How does that make sense? When you have the numbers, you have the numbers. Where do all of a sudden do you lose numbers after 8 months of this year? It doesn't make a lot of sense. But if you think about it, maybe it does, because this paves the way for steeper cuts for Powell, right? That's the only thing I could think of. Because Powell could use this as an excuse, saying, well, job market is, the labor force is not as strong as we once thought with the revised numbers. So, it gives them ammunition to cut and cut more. And that's actually not bad. That's what we want, right? And pretty soon, we're going to probably see more economic data come out that's showing the economy is a little bit worse, and maybe more revisions and so forth, right? So yeah, today, I don't know. I don't think we're going to see much movement, at least not in the broader market. Maybe with Bitcoin, that's a different story. Bitcoin does what it wants, but the broader market's probably going to be somewhat stagnant today because everyone's waiting for Powell to give a speech at Jackson Hole tomorrow. So we'll see. But here's the thing. There are a lot of traditional stock investors out there and in this chat. And a lot of people will keep saying, well, look at the S&P 500. It just keeps going higher and higher and higher. And it's at an all-time high. So, why would I invest in anything else? Why don't I just invest in stocks or an index fund? Well, here's the thing. If you compare the S&P 500, if you compare it to Bitcoin, not USD, you track it against Bitcoin, you'll realize that the exact opposite has been happening. It's been trending lower and lower and lower and lower. And that's what most people don't understand. Everyone base their comparisons against the dollar, right? But when you compare assets against each other, especially against Bitcoin, which we know is the fastest appreciating asset there is, well, then it's a different story, right? So this is why Bitcoin is unlike any other asset. It is the greatest hedge against inflation, and it's the ultimate store of value. This is why we need to accumulate while we still can, while things are cheap, before prices become out of control due to inflation and due to other factors, right? But I think that's a very, very interesting chart. Very interesting chart. Now, as for this consolidation period that we're in, there are many reasons why it is ending soon. Okay, one is Bitcoin is ripe for a short squeeze. I mentioned that. We have a massive amount of shorts piled up right now. You can see, this is hard to read, but you can see around 62,000 how there's a lot of activity. Okay, so the bears have piled on the shorts right around 62,000, which is why we haven't been able to break it recently. But when we do, we go get that short squeeze. We got $15 billion worth of shorts piled on between 62,000 and 72,000. $15 billion worth. Okay. And we get a little push. We get a little squeeze. We're going to get a lot of shorters wrecked, which is fine by me, but it's going to drive us higher. Way, way higher. At this point, I still don't understand why anyone wants to short Bitcoin. It's mostly due to greed, I'm sure. But hey, you never want to bet against Bitcoin. You really just don't. It's the surest way to wreck yourself. Yeah. So as for ETFs, yesterday we had a modest 39.5 million inflow. Still, that's five. That makes 5 consecutive days of inflow, which isn't bad. Smaller inflow days, but still, nevertheless, they're inflows, not outflows. Yesterday, besides Grayscale, the only one that's still outflowing, everyone else added. Blackrock actually surprisingly took a little bit, a small amount, 8.4 million. Fidelity, 10 million. ARK, 10 million. And others added a few. But overall, these ETFs are not going to stop. More and more and more inflows, right? That's what the big boys are doing. That's what we should be doing because Bitcoin is the greatest asset, the greatest appreciated asset that we have. And everything looks like this chart when you compare it to Bitcoin. It's really that simple. Now, BlackRock and Larry Fink, they have done the most within the shortest amount of time ever. Now they have, according to Arkham, more crypto in cumulative than Grayscale. And keep in mind, Grayscale has been operating for what? Over 10 years? And Grayscale doesn't just have Bitcoin and Ethereum. They have trust for like a dozen of other crypto. But since the ETFs came out, for whatever reason, I still don't understand why so many are selling from Grayscale. It's just massive dumping. And it's all going into BlackRock's wallets, right? So now BlackRock officially has more crypto than Grayscale. And BlackRock has only been accumulating in their ETFs for 8 months versus like a decade for Grayscale. That shows you how big BlackRock is, how much money they have, and why it's so important for the rest of us, the retail investors, why we need to stay strong, not fall for the FUD, and continue to keep accumulating, because this is happening, right? And there's so many really good reasons why we should continue to accumulate, besides being a store of value, besides being a hedge against inflation. It's a great medium of exchange too. It's the greatest network that we have. Franklin Templeton's CEO yesterday came out and said that people are underestimating this, that Bitcoin's network processed 36.6 trillion transactions, which is more than MasterCard and Visa combined. Just think about that for a second. Everyone in the world is using MasterCard and Visa. And yet Bitcoin processed more transactions than both of them combined. That's staggering, right? So even as a medium of exchange, Bitcoin and Bitcoin network is winning. And it's the only decentralized network out there that can't be shut down by any government. You can shut down Visa. You can shut down MasterCard pretty easily. Any of the agencies could go to these companies and deactivate your account. They can stop your transaction, right? The transaction could be reversed. And there are parts of the world where you can't use a credit card, right? But Bitcoin has none of those barriers. Bitcoin, you can send Bitcoin to anywhere in the world as long as they have a wallet and they have internet access. You know, anyone in the world can receive your Bitcoin within minutes, right? For a stupidly small amount of fees, but there's no middleman. No one could stop the transaction. No one could try to shut down the network. It just won't happen, right? So it's just really staggering if you think about it. Even as a network, it's the greatest one that we have, one that has never been hacked before, one that has 100% uptime too. There's no other network that could say that. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. All right. So outside of that craziness, what else? The DXY. DXY is falling. And whenever that happens, there's an inverse relationship between the strength of the dollar and Bitcoin, which makes sense. If the strength of the dollar goes down, people stop buying things like, you know, treasury bonds and stuff and dollars, and they start buying assets, right? So the DXY is definitely breaking down. A lot of it is due to the Japanese yen getting stronger because DXY is pegged against or compared against like 5 different currencies. Yen is a big one, and yen's been going up because of what their central bank is doing. But yeah, DXY is falling. So again, another reason why this consolidation for Bitcoin may be over, because the money's going to start flowing into assets like Bitcoin, like it always has. So that's pretty good. And also, speaking of money, just like the global money supply, we have been stuck around this 100 and just, let's just round up, or round down, $100 trillion worth of money supply. We've been stuck there since about 2021, since, you know, governments around the world and everyone, they all printed whatever they needed to, and then finally realized, okay, it's a mistake. We can't print anymore. But you know what? They totally forgot, and now they're printing again. So the money supply is starting to increase, and you can see we were stuck at this money supply level. This you could call it resistance for what, 3 years, and now, because of the rate cuts, because governments around the world wants to, you know, accelerate their economies again. Besides rate cuts, the money started to flow, right? And again, you could see the correlation during the last few times when the money flow stopped going up. That's actually when Bitcoin was going down and Bitcoin was going sideways. And guess what? When the money started increasing, it correlates with these parabolic rises. So again, if the money is going to start, we're going to see the money printers print and rates being cut, that's going to be excellent, very excellent for Bitcoin. And that's coming up starting next month, really. September, October, and it's going to heat up. November, December, leading into next year, it's going to get hot, real hot. And that's what we want. This is interesting. If you take a look at this, this is the GMI Bitcoin Cycle Top Finder. It's been pretty accurate. I would say very, very accurate. The only thing that was off by this was the peak in 2021. A lot of these metrics showed that the 64,000 top was top. But then we all of a sudden had a huge rise back to 69,000. Again, due to FOMO. Some people argue it was due to FTX, right? But you could see this predicted 2011's, 2013's, 2017's top and the 64,000 top in 2021 perfectly, right? And you could see how, yeah, we didn't form a top. We didn't form a top. There's this notion, I see it in the live chat too. Some people are asking, well, what if we missed the top? What if the 73,000 was the top? No, it's not. We're nowhere close to top. And anything that we have that measures these top levels indicate that as well. We got a full year left in this cycle. And the institutions continue to accumulate. There's only so much Bitcoin out there, right? You just have to stay strong, not fall for the FUD, and continue to hold on and accumulate. That's it. That's really it. There's no other magical formula besides watching this channel because I put 2 and 2 together for you guys. But everything that we have is indicating this parabolic rise is coming. And by the end of it, we will probably be at 200,000 plus. It's amazing if you think about it. And if Bitcoin goes to 200,000 plus, most of the alts will do at least a 5x, if not a 10x from here. So just think about your portfolio going up 10x from here. That's minimum, basically. That's how crazy it is. And it will be. So you just have to have some patience. Again, if you look at what has happened before, this is interesting. This is comparing last year to this year. And remember, last year was pretty sucky too. Very, very sucky. We were low at like 15,000. We had a hard time in 20,000 range, right? We couldn't break above 30,000, and everyone's losing hope and saying, well, you know, it's all, you know, it's all over. We're not going to hit our 69,000 high again. And guess what? September, we started rallying. October, we really started going, and we didn't stop. Since October to March, we basically kept going until $73,000, right? So this is just last year. This is not even comparing to 2021. September, October could be huge, huge months for Bitcoin. It's right around the corner. We just got to get through this month. What else is there to, you know, this is a bigger scale versus the 2020 bull run, right? Again, showing you, hey, once we're in the fourth quarter, that's when things get really, really exciting. It's just gotta have a little patience. That's all. It's gotta have a little patience. This massive consolidation that we're in, or this sideways movement that we're in, will be over soon. Will be over soon. And you'll be glad that you stayed in the market. It's just, that's it. It's really that simple. All right. That's pretty much it. The only other things are, I got to mention this, even though I'm not a fan of Tron or Justin Sun, but they launched a meme coin deployer. Okay. They call it sun.pump. How original. And because of it, Sun is actually doing, I mean, Tron has been doing very well. A lot of people have asked me why Tron is going up in a big way. I've noticed it's in the top 10. It's, again, due to memes. Due to memes. People love them. Memes are going to be a big part of this cycle. That's really it. All right, guys. Let's do some Q&A. Let me scroll up here. Let's see if I missed anything. Sauce Boss says, I want my 10K to turn into 100K. That's definitely doable this cycle. Very, very doable. Let's see. Okay, I caught up. Nothing big. One House Productions. When is the next Crowded Combat? Any influencers stepping up? Yes. You definitely need to follow Influencer Fight Club on X. We have a lot. So we're going to have female main cards this time, first in IFC history. So Blonde Broker versus Ashley Decan. They're going to be the main card. The co-main card will be Barney the Boy from CFN, and also Tactical Investing was a champ from IFC 2. And we have others, Jakey versus Unhinged Intern. And we got several others. So it's going to be a great fight in Singapore during Token 2049. What's your view on BMW i8? Nah, no. People buy that because it's cheap and it looks like an exotic car, but it's really not, and it's slow, and no, don't get it. Arculus is telling me that because I'm a legacy user, I need to pay extra for a wallet that would actually work with the newest version. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what a legacy user means. Jeremy, no thanks. Five-minute Bitcoin says, George, I just bought a 296 GTB. Want to drive it? Yeah. Congrats, man. I'm going to be honest, and it's not because I'm hating, but like I feel like the 296 looks really weird. And SF90 looks weird. Any of the newer cars that Ferrari has come out looks weird to me because it's so roundish. Looks like a fish, and it has the and you could get these like weird looking colorful decals for the front end, and they just all look, it just doesn't have that aggressive look. The performance is amazing, and the interiors have been upgraded tremendously, but I don't know, after the F8, even the F8's kind of roundish, but like starting from the 296, it's just like super round, and it's not my style. But congrats, it's a really nice car. Is Jerome Powell speaking? No, that's tomorrow. So Mundo, the 296 GTB is the best Ferrari to drive. They made out of the, I don't know about that. I think the SF90 would still be better, but although some people have argued the 296 is better on the track, but I'm just, I don't know. I'm not a fan of either one, to be honest. If I could, I think Justin has a right to 458. The normal 58 is amazing, but the 458 Speciale, the special edition one, the track version one, they made it look a lot more aggressive. It has more power. It still has just a natural aspirated V8. If I had the money, I'd go buy 458 Speciale. I think that is going to only go up in price and looks absolutely amazing. It sounds even better. It's probably the best sounding, one of the best sounding Ferraris. And everything else afterwards went turbocharged, right? And now it's turbocharged plus hybrid, which I'm not a fan of either. Chevy is proving that you don't need to go hybrid to generate a lot of power. Sad, but Jay Leno's car collection will be up for auction soon. Is that confirmed? I mean, Jay Leno's old, man. He's a legend, but he's very old. I can't see him really enjoying any of those cars anymore. Praveen, you think memes and NFTs are done, or do they have a future? Memes definitely. I don't know about NFTs. NFTs could come back, but I just don't see them getting as strong as 2021. Memes dominate this cycle, and I don't think that's going to stop. Sir Broxton, any way to legally avoid capital gains tax? Yes, you need to have a business, though. You need to have a business, and you need to have revenue, and you need to have deductions. That's how you do it. Nerfer, no, I did not. I did not listen to S Spaces. No, I listened to it like for like 10 seconds and I turned it off. Marathon Digital or HUD 8 for your minor stock, in your opinion? I don't follow the numbers for either. I don't know which one is stronger. It seems like Marathon is stronger, but I can't really say. HUD 8 also went through some merger or something, so I don't know how big they are. Today, MicroStrategy and Coinbase slightly down, Nvidia up. Man, Nvidia is just a tank. A tank. They went down to as low as $98. That was just 2 weeks ago. Had you bought at that point, $98, you'll be up 30% already. Nvidia is just crazy. They're almost back to their all-time high. Nvidia is the one monopoly that will stay a monopoly for a long, long, long time. And Nvidia, in my opinion, just like Bitcoin, is the one you just keep accumulating right now. There's no one that's going to stop them. They're just crazy. Man, BNB is going crazy too, up 7% today, almost back to their previous high of 600 something. I picked a Jeep. I looked at IS 500. It looks nice, but I don't think it's going to be that great. The Jeep is impressing me already. 392. It sounds so amazing. It sounds like the best, one of the best, like, it's one of the best sounding exhaust systems I've ever heard in any car. And it's stock. The Wranglers are huge in person. You know, when you're driving by them, they just look like a normal size SUV. But when you got like 35-inch tires and the fenders like sticking way out, they're big. They're big cars. Get a Trackhawk. Eventually. I get cars all the time. And mostly, it's for drivers only, which Josh is manning. But it's perfect for the crypto cruises. No one in this space can do what I'm doing with the cars. Even if they try to copy, they can't. A G-Wagon sounds way better. No, it does not. I have a G-Wagon. I can tell you, a G-Wagon sounds good. It does not sound like a Wrangler 392. Not even close. Not even on the same planet of closeness. Nerfer. Okay, first of all, Nerfer, stop adding me. It's a big pet peeve when someone continues to do so to try to get my attention. But I'm going to let it slide this time. And second, he talked about a strategic reserve during the Bitcoin conference already. He said it before the spaces. So, yes. Do you like personal question? Do you dislike personal question? It depends. Depends. A 68 Nova and a GTR 50th anniversary. I'm not impressed with GTRs. I've never been impressed with GTRs. Growing up as a kid during the Fast and Furious days, everyone made such a big deal about GTR. If you could get one imported, you know how it dominates the streets with its all-wheel drive system and this and that. And I was just never too impressed with it. And this new one, when it first came out, I thought it looked pretty ugly, but the performance there. But now Nissan just gave up on it. It's been the same car for like 15 years, and everyone has caught up and it's faster now. So I just don't get. I don't get GTRs, I guess. The one who cares. Did you hear about all Japan banks are adopting XRP? No, because that's false news. What is your favorite average car? The new Mustang GT is amazing. I just drove that recently. Love it. Love it. Civic Type R is a really fun car. Corolla GR is a really fun car. All of those are more like, you know, average ones that are fun. I don't know about daily driving. With daily driving, I just feel like you just get an SUV. I mean, they're all pretty good. If you want a good daily driver, like a family hauler, get a Telluride or something like that. But if you want like a fun car, I highly suggest like a hot hatch with a 6-speed or like a Mustang with a 6-speed. They're very fun. I know someone with a GTR and no investments, no retirement, can't even go over bump. Pathetic, honestly. He probably lowered that. That's why. Normally they're not that low, but I agree with you. It's not smart to own a GTR and have no investments whatsoever and not even have a 401k. That's not smart. Um, I don't know what you're trying to say, Retro Bill. Are you being facetious, or are you real? I don't. I'm just not going to answer that. Aaron, how did I am George where all George start? One of my fans said it, and he's, you know, I thought it was cringe, but then, you know, I started doing it, and then people loved it, and I stuck with it. That's it. A Palisade is basically the same thing as a Telluride, a little bit fancier, but yeah, both the Palisade and Telluride are fantastic, like family SUVs. They have all the luxury features. They have everything that you would want in a 3-row and a 3-row SUV. If you want a tow, you want something that's more like a traditional SUV, then go with like a Tahoe or a Yukon. They're terrific too. Bob. Man, the Fast and Furious days, I still remember. Fast and Furious 1 came out when I was like in college. Man, everyone was going crazy with their Civics and Civic hatchbacks and like, you know, what did I used to call them the rice cars or ricing it out or whatever, you know. Those are the good old days. Now Fast and Furious is about going to space and doing like covert ops stuff. It's nothing to do with racing anymore. What truck do you recommend? I'll say this. A lot of people hate on the Rams, but the Rams interior, especially the upper edition ones, they have the nicest interiors by far, and most practical too. But Rams on the outside looks funny to me. They don't look manly. Silverado and F-150 looks way better. Even the new Tundra looks way better than Rams. Rams have this weird roundish shape on the outside. Just does not look very good. Only like the TRX does because it's raised with big tires and stuff. But regular Rams just look weird to me. But if you want something that lasts, just get an F-150. You know, they'll last forever. Call him rice burners is racist. It is. It is racist, but it's funny and it's true. Have you seen a new Roadhouse movie? I've seen clips of it. I haven't watched the whole movie. Do all your neighbors call you the crypto guy? I asked you about crypto. In my old neighborhood, I had a few people that knew me, and I think one rage quit because he used to ask me a lot about crypto, and then after the downfall, I think he probably, you know, sold it all and took a loss, and he just never asked me about crypto again. And I have this other neighbor, or I used to have this other neighbor, Doug, who still continues to watch me. There was one other person that knew me from my car channel, drivers only. Yeah, it gets just random people. Sometimes like, and this older guy, I always see him. I've seen him for years, and all of a sudden, finally, he recently saw me at my new house and said, "Hey, you do YouTube, right? Like, you know, we've seen each other for like." Like 7 years, and he finally like confessed that he watches me. Stefan O'Neill, I appreciate that. Surge. That must be awkward when a fan comes up to you. I mean, I understand, you know. Sometimes it is awkward, but most guys are pretty cool, or a lot of women come up to me too, mostly saying, "Oh, you know what? My husband's been watching it for years." Um, so I get that a lot. But yeah, it's just, you know, most people just say hi or want a picture or something, and that's it. Doesn't happen that often. I think a lot of people also do recognize me, but they're just afraid to say something because I get like these weird stares all the time where it seems like they're trying to, they're thinking whether or not it's me, but for the most part, I just put my head down and just continue walking. Has a stripper ever recognized you? Yes. Yeah, that actually happened, and that took the fun out of it. Um, it was in Vegas, um, in Spearmint Rhino. This one girl, she's like a fitness influencer, and she was also working at Rhino, and then she like recognized me, and then we had like a long conversation, and then afterwards she's like, "Well, do you want to dance?" I'm like, "No," because it would be just too awkward now. There are a lot of strippers that are into crypto. I'll tell you that. You guys don't think they would be, but a lot of them are investing in crypto. A lot of them are investing for the future. So, just FYI. Ultimate Champs, your fans from Indonesia. Man, I would like to go to Indonesia someday. I haven't been to a lot of Asian countries. Ferraris are pasta burners. Imagine if that was actually a new trend, calling like Italian cars pasta makers. Would that be offensive? That would be funny. Not pasta burners, like pasta makers. Like you start referring to Ferraris and Lambos as pasta makers. That would be really funny, actually. Pauline says, "I will watch your channel till you retire." I appreciate that. Jennifer, I had a Ducati and they called it my pasta rocket. Yeah, I guess. Pasta boilers. Yeah. Nothing beats rice burners. I mean, in terms of the name, it just sounds very right. Uh, I see live chat has nothing to do with crypto anymore. What are the odds of a super cycle? 10% plus? I don't know. If I had to like guess at this point, I guess higher, probably like 25% chance of a super cycle. Because with the institutions in and they're holding large amounts of Bitcoin, I just don't see them selling it like retail. And as long as they hold an enormous amount of Bitcoin, there's no reason why we're going to get the same kind of like crypto winters we had before. Do crypto retirement videos when you retire. We all know you'll never stop streaming. Yeah, you know, it's part of me. If I don't stream, you know, as much as I complain that I'm tired and I don't want to stream anymore, when I actually don't stream, like, I get really anxious and I want to. Like, so even if I do retire, I'm probably gonna put out videos. K-Jam, that oh, that's funny, actually. How many stream videos have you done? Thousands, man. Thousands. Yeah. I don't know about thousands. It's over 1,000 for sure. I don't know if it's actually I think YouTube will tell you. There's a place you go before. Yes. 2,454 videos with 175 million views. That's a lot. I joined October 2017. That's when I started. I thought I started in September, but I guess it was end of October. So since 2017 till now, I put out 2,454 videos and have accumulated 175 million views. Christian, if you don't stream, what would you do? I feel like you would just cut back once you reach your goal. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably still like put out videos here and there and still work on the IFC if the IFC grows bigger. But more or less it's the same now. I mean, I don't anticipate anything really different. I still need something to do every day. Otherwise, I'll be just super bored. Maybe I'll just do one video a day or one video a week. I don't know. Strip club chicken wing reviews. A lot of these clubs have really good food, I'll tell you that. And they're like famous for the wings or steaks or whatever. I can't imagine people eating big like T-bone steaks in a strip club. But I guess people do and they're really like proud of their steaks and stuff. Like I don't I don't yeah, I've never tried a steak in a club before. I'm not even gonna repeat that, W Dog. I don't. Yeah, that's a little too much. Ted says, George, this is supposed to be about Bitcoin and crypto. Please don't go off topic. Just look at the chat, man. Every question is non-crypto, and it makes it more interesting. All right. If you have a crypto question, just ask instead of saying like, "Oh, stay on topic." If you have a crypto question, ask it instead of being a Debbie Downer. All right, on that note, I guess when strippers accept crypto payments, that means we have utility, increases crypto value. A lot of them do. A lot of them do. And a lot of them do take like Cash App and stuff like that too. So it depends on which ones you go to. Let's just put it that way. All right. So, I don't know how I'm going to end this. Massive consolidation, right? I know we're going sideways, but you know what? It's just a matter of time we break out and go higher, and you don't want to miss that. It's really that simple. So, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight, usual time, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Have a good one, guys.